What's up, guys? Erebus here with some more Dark Souls 3 PvP fun times. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about confidence. Confidence in Dark Souls and how that kind of plays out. With some just nice invasions and stuff to comment on as well. Now, here I had actually run into like a pseudo fight club. These chaps got invaded, a blue showed up. These two just kind of let the blue and the purple fight it out. Purple one got his shackle and took off. Host sat down, and now I'm gonna get to duel this phantom. Cool on him for just rushing in during my bow, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was due to the latency, because I did see the host just instantly go from standing to sitting. So maybe it didn't look that way on his screen. Maybe it seemed like I was already done bowing. I don't know. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, because otherwise this is a pretty honorable little exchange here. Going for that nice little joy in the middle of battle. I can only assume that means he was a bit overconfident and thought he was going to win, which did not pan out. So, sorry about you, buddy. Not a problem. It wasn't rude or anything at all. It was just, a little bit overconfident, I think. Host applauds my abilities and gives me a bow, so now it's our turn. Because we're being honorable, I'm going to go ahead and let him buff. I'm also going to buff, and to his credit, he allows me the same. I'm not going to attack him in the middle of his his emote, so I go ahead and back off. But now the fight has begun in earnest. I see the turtling, so I'm instantly thinking guard break. Go for it here. He's able to roll through it. So good on him. A lot of circling here. I'm thinking he's going for a backstab, but I'm also thinking that that's probably not going to work out for him. So instead I'm just R1ing in his face and getting in some damage. Thinking about going for a parry potentially, but he's just circling right now. There he goes for 3 R1s in a row, so now I'm really excited about going for a parry. Now he's staggering those R1s. Pretty decent job. He was getting a little bit repetitive there, being a little too obvious. But he went ahead and backed off right afterwards. So right when I had learned the timing that he was doing his R1s and was going to be able to punish him, he backed out. So good on him. That was a good move. Now he's back to mixing it up a little bit. Still going for backstabs, but as far as when he attacks, he's being a little less obvious. Go ahead and get the parry off on him there. It was just a prediction that turned out to be right. There wasn't a lot of obvious behavior leading up to it. But yeah, it was good. And cool on the other red. He came in, realized what was happening, and just sat out. Let us have our honorable duel. So good on that, bro. Now the thing about confidence, the point that I wanted to make originally, I think, is that when you're PvPing, you have to have some confidence. If you are just a scared little school child, essentially, you're unlikely to do well in a PvP situation, because people can tell if you're intimidated, and it generally makes them it can make them overconfident. It kind of depends on the player, but so sometimes it's good to act scared in order to get a certain reaction from your opponent, but not to actually be scared, because you're going to play like crap, and they're going to be able to capitalize on it. So you need to have confidence in your abilities, and that doesn't mean, thinking that you're the best, or, shitting on other people's abilities with the game. It's nothing like that. It's just the confidence in knowing that you are not a noob. You have some skills. You know how to read patterns and do certain things. And if you've been invading for any length of time, that's going to be the case. You're automatically going to be at a decent skill level after invading for a while. So you just need to be comfortable enough with being a little bit confident. But you don't want to become overconfident, because when you're overconfident, you start underestimating people. They're going to surprise you. They're going to surprise you real quick, and probably beat the crap out of you. So it's really just a balancing act. Like most things in life are, it's just a matter of being confident in your abilities without getting big-headed about it or looking down on other people. Because the second you start, becoming overconfident, you're going to really have a problem. The illustration here is this blue. I had already handled the Phantom. I had already taken out the other blue quite quickly, and I was really overconfident with that last blue. Just didn't even think that it was going to be a challenge at all, and that blue was a pretty decent player. I mean, we didn't get to finish our battle since the other red took out the host, but I could see that he had some skill for sure, and would have given me a good battle. So overconfidence is a problem. This chap also is a good illustration of being overconfident. He went ahead and pointed up at me right off the bat before the fight even started. So he's quite... he's not worried at all. He's quite convinced he's going to win this, and probably fairly easily. Which I'm going to do my best to show him is not the case. He may win, I'm not going to be too overconfident myself and say that, I'm going to definitely beat him. I'm going to probably beat him, but even if I don't, I'm going to give him a good run for his money so that he knows that it was not an easy task. So I give him the cheeky applause afterwards and go ahead and return the point up that he gave me. Hopefully that lesson sinks in. Now here we're in the catacombs. I was looking for this guy for a while, and you may have just seen a moving pot over there. He was white branched and hiding, which good on him. I probably wouldn't have found him if he hadn't been moving around. But who knows? I may have eventually. So he's rocking the good old Zweihander, which is a good choice. But I've already noticed he's going for a lot of rolling attacks. So I go for the parry already there. There was one parry attempt. That was on a roll that he didn't do it. So I whiffed it and looked like a fool. But he's continuing to do it. Not every roll, though. So the one good thing he's doing with being so into rolling attacks is he is definitely not doing it every time. And not even every time that he's rolling into me. So that was good. Or at least not too bad. But he did altogether do it far too much when faced with someone with a parry shield. Especially the Llewellyn, which is like the parry lord standard. So, not the best choice on his part, although he did mix it up a little, which was good. Now here we've got somebody who's running through the level with Egon. Totally fail at that plunge attack, but I'm given time to get my rings back and sorted appropriately. Get a nice backstab on Egon, who's not paying attention. Waggle at the host. He's having none of it. So that's fine. We're just going to go ahead and initiate the battle here. I hate fighting Egon, though. I gotta tell you. Egon here and Sorig in the Demon Ruins. They're my least favorite NPC Phantoms because they're super tanky. They have outrageous absorption. And the fact that, at least in Egon's case, he's got Estus is just, it's too much. I can't remember 100% if Sorig does or not. I don't think I've ever seen him drink. But I don't know if that's because he doesn't have any or he just doesn't use it when I invade there. Not sure. But either way, the combination of these NPC Phantoms' absorption and their ability to drink is just kind of absurd. So I often sort of ignore them, to be honest. I spent a little time trying to get rid of Egon here. Tried to go for the chain backstab. Backstabbed Egon, then tried to dash around the host and get him. Didn't work. But I also want to parry Egon. That was a weird one. There were a couple weird instances here I got the backstab animation on what should have been a backstab, and it just poked him. That should have either been a parry, or I should have gotten hit. But the entire hit just missed, so I don't know what's going on there. Trying to parry this spearman, and that's not going very well, as you can quite plainly see. Now he starts waggling at me. He's quite overconfident at this point. He thinks that he's seen all my tricks, and he has nothing to be worried about. He's definitely going to win. And that's that level of overconfidence that can get you in trouble when you stop taking the fight seriously. Because he's seen me whiff several parries at this point, so he's thinking that I'm not going to get one. But I go for the after trade parry, and I am able to get that just fine and put him down. So never discount somebody is the point here. Watch your overconfidence, and don't count people out until the battle's over. They'll surprise you. Whether it's me or somebody else, you'll get surprised. Now this chap, he wanted to have an honorable 1v1, and I'm happy to oblige. So I'm gonna let him kill that enemy. He goes for the bow. I see this other guy behind him, so I try to get his attention and let him know that there's an enemy there. So he does figure it out, and then I'm able to return the bow. And he bows again, like a good gentleman, and we're gonna have a nice duel. Interesting setup here with the Faran set, big leather shield, and straight sword. But I do notice that he's turtling quite a bit, and he's L1 waggling. So I'm not sure if that's just because I had done it earlier. I was trying to warn him of the enemy before our duel started. But I'm not sure. Maybe he took that as a taunt. It wasn't meant to be. But at any rate, I get a parry off on him, and that's all. That's all she wrote on that one. Give him a nice after bow as well, since it was indeed an honorable duel. Not sure what the L1 waggling was in the middle of it, but that's fine. Now here, I was looking for the host for a minute or two. Couldn't find him, so inevitably just started, checking around, looking bonfires. Found him. Here he is. And I'm instantly concerned because I see him walking in place up there. And this champ is this chap is a champ of lag. Oh, look at that! And just walking up parrying. Now this guy, I can tell he's excited to be invaded, and he's quite confident in himself. He's got the Katarina armor, so clearly twinking a little bit here. Dragon Slayer axe, parry shield. Not a great shield. Well, obviously not a type of shield that is a class of great shield. I meant not great as in quality. Not an excellent shield to be using. But it's possible that he had some stuff dropped for him, but didn't get a shield from what everybody dropped in this other stuff. But whatever the case, he's clearly pretty confident, and I'm just shutting that down. Which I'm pretty proud of this one, honestly, because not necessarily because it's a great battle, because with this much lag, it's kind of a toss-up who's going to win. And while there is some skill involved to it, certainly, there's also a good deal of luck. So it's not necessarily the skill part of it that I was kind of proud of, but just the fact that I was able to play as consistently, decently as I did, even with the lag, such as outspacing that attack, particularly the first time when I punished it with a backstab. Even with the lag, and the sort of inconsistent lag, because there are times when it's pretty on point, and times when, like that, it'll begin to show him throwing a bomb, and I've already been hit by it. So I was just pretty happy with the way I handled being in that situation. Also, the point down at the end of that one was specifically the lag. Nothing against the guy. It was just because of the connection. Now, starting out here, I'm going to be a little bit overconfident. I think I'm going to just take out this overleveled Phantom super simply, even after whiffing the riposte. And I'm just thinking these guys are not a challenge. I make a mistake with that. I don't often get big-headed because, as I've said a million times, and we'll probably say a million more, I'm not that great of a player. I'm fairly average, so I don't normally have a problem with overconfidence. My problem is more in having confidence at all. But there are times, particularly if I come out of a really good invasion, where everything just goes right, occasionally the next invasion I'll be a little bit cocky. So that happened this time, but now there's a blue. So my cockiness has dissolved instantly. 3v1 is never an easy situation, so I know there's, a good potential for failure. But then the host becomes overconfident in having so much backup, and comes an R1 spams me in the face. So I'm able to just parry him and riposte him, and that's the end of the invasion. So, never get overconfident. I can't say that enough. Be confident, but not overly so. I promise I'm going to try to not say that as frequently. Or at least I'll try not to bring it up in other videos, because I know I'm saying it a lot in this one. But it's an important lesson, because confidence is a major issue. On both ends of the spectrum, because it is a balance, and you have to be in that nice middle ground. If you're overconfident, you're going to lose. If you don't have confidence, you're going to lose. If you have the right amount of confidence, you're going to lose, because it's Dark Souls. No, but seriously, that mid spot's really important. Now this one was pretty fun. So I ran into these chaps, and wasn't immediately certain what the purple's plan was. You can never really be sure about purples. But he showed me there. He's locked onto me. He's coming for me. So I know that's the case. Now Sunbro, I see here, swings twice. So I'm making a little mental note of that. I like to know how many times people are going to swing, particularly in different situations. That way I can know when is a good chance to parry, when is not. Goes for a nice weapon art there. Luckily I staggered the purple out of his attack, because that would have hurt. I saw just there the Sunbro attack twice again, even though I wasn't really next to him. So I'm making note of that. Tried to punish the purple, but got my spacing wrong and got caught in the shockwave of the machete. That time I was a little bit too late, and I didn't get caught in the shockwave, but what I did do was give him time to roll out so that he didn't get hit. Lucked out there, though, in that the being a purple, he can hit his buddies, and he did indeed slap the yellow, so that was good. Good for me, at least. And there's another, that one was a 3-hit, but guaranteed 2 hits. So my plan at this point is to set up parry the Sunbro when I can get a little bit of space out of the purple. If I can get him back far enough, like right here, set up parry, and hopefully end the Sunbro. Didn't think I had time to switch to my dagger since the purple was coming in hot. So I went with the just stuck with the longsword, and it didn't do enough damage. Host gets a good spam on me there, trying to go for a parry, and I just couldn't get it on him. So now I'm just tangling with the host. The Sunbro and the purple are dealing with the machete man. Purple has died. Sunbro's still in the game, but he's got very low health and is now out of Estus. So go ahead and toss him a nice bomb. He starts going with the spells. So I'm trying to just get a little bit of distance. What I don't want is to be peppered with spells while fighting a melee host. So I'm focusing on the Sunbro. I just want him dead. I don't care if I take some damage, that's fine. So there I go ahead and take the damage. Lure the host into some R1s there with that little step forward. That way I could back down and get a heal. Just because I don't want to get caught in a spam and taken down. Was looking for a guard break there. Wasn't getting it. So I go back to having my parry shield out. Host goes for a parry, which was interesting. Not sure if he just hit a wrong button or what. There we traded, so I figured after trade parry, got that, riposte, game over. But GG to that group. They were a lot of fun, and I think I would have been in a much tighter spot if the Machete Man hadn't come to my rescue. For this last one here, this one doesn't really have to do with the subject at hand at all. Nice coloration on that chair there. Lets me know where the host is. I just, for my level 60 build, I decided as one of my weapons that I can swap to. I primarily use the Great Club with this chap, but I decided I wanted to have these axes on as an option at least, because the multiple hits that they get are pretty sweet. So this is my first invasion with them. I was lucky enough to get a solo host, so I can kind of just toy around with the timings and check stuff out. When we were just trading R1s there after stuns, I was really upset at not having my parry shield out. So go ahead and take it out now. Assuming he's going to go for the spam, which he does. And sadly for him, he just really had no chance there. Which I'm not saying that because he's not skilled, because that doesn't come into the conversation. It's actually just because the monk was alive, so I was getting constantly buffed and healed. But I was pretty excited to win my first invasion with those weapons, so I included it. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today, guys. Thanks as always for watching. Hope you enjoyed.